Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everybody, for coming here today. Before I get going, I just want to tell you that Mike France is here. Mike is in the audience. Mike's running for the second congressional seat. He's got his hand up there, and anybody wants to donate to Mike. Mike is also the chairman of the Conservative Caucus. He's a state representative up here in Hartford. Last March, our governor declared a pandemic here in Connecticut resulting from COVID-19 and it being easily spread. By mid-March, your legislature was shut down, and our state has been ruled by executive order ever since. During that time, my ability to represent my constituents in the house behind me did not exist. But that was not my fault, as I am not the one that permits the legislature to act. Those decisions are made by the party with the most seats, the majority party. I dare not mention the name of that party today for fear of being called partisan. At that point, though, my ability to fight tyranny shifted to one of my other jobs, that of being a lawyer. Since the shuttering of the legislature, I have represented many people who have come and asked our courts to uphold our federal and state constitutions and the protections therein. But I have not been alone in those cases. Shoulder to shoulder with me has been Representative Doug Dubitsky. Every one of those cases Doug and I have done together. Doug's also a member of the Conservative Caucus. Other lawyers have been involved as well. And we've been successful. The press doesn't cover it, but last June in one of our cases, a Connecticut federal court ruled that every Connecticut citizen who does not have a firearms permit, that their constitutional rights have been violated because the governor shut down fingerprinting across the state. And the court ordered the governor to repeal that executive order, which he did the next day. Last week in one of our cases, the Attorney General's office vacated fines that they levied against Audrey Hussey, who allegedly had violated the travel ban. She was right, they were wrong, and they vacated those fines. And just this past Monday, in one of our cases, a judge, Hartford Superior Court, right around the corner here, determined that the governor cannot continue to rule this state by executive fiat. The legislature has to be involved. And I'll tell you that as a result of that ruling, the majority party has now come to the table and we're talking about how do we move forward and restore the power of the legislature. Our constitutions are made up of words, important words, because those words create the rules, the guidelines by which government acts. We set those guidelines. Words can also be used in other fashion. Sometimes they can be used to creatively form a poem, which I've brought to you here today, and I apologize in advance to Charles Dickens and Dr. Seuss. The year was 2020, and all through our state, people were scared, a pandemic their fate. The governor said, "Stay inside, don't you dare go out, for if you do, I will find you with my clout." The people were concerned but left with no choice. Their government was stripped of its only voice that could save them from all of this unilateral power. Their legislature was moot, and thus people did cower. On an almost daily basis, more rules would come out, closing bars and barbers, every athletic tryout. Restaurants and schools were next on the list. He said it was the curve that they needed to fix. Ballparks and museums, concerts and plays, all halted from opening to the public's dismay. Big box stores like Walmart were allowed to be open, while little ones could not, no matter their hoping. Sadly, many deaths took place in nursing homes, our loved ones alone while the Grim Reaper roams. Our governor follows Cuomo. We'll see where all of that goes. Investigations may help in the facts they disclose. Mere gatherings of people were banned at all costs, the governor in charge showing all who was boss. More rules would come at the flick of his pen. Not all would make sense again and again. When some would point to his poorly crafted rules, he would change them quickly and look at us as fools, saying, "What, did you think I meant what I wrote the first time? Well, of course I did not. Is that some sort of crime?" Many orders were harmful to the economy of our state. Some children were held back, many parents irate. If we knew then, we would have questioned his nerve when he first claimed this was just about flattening the curve. And now we stand here a whole year later. The legislature is open, but its power not much greater. To address the harms that the governor made, the people still wait while their representatives cave. It won't take us much to remember these days, remember our government, remember its ways of using its power to keep you all in check. If our founders were here, they would give them all heck. It is time that our constitutional system be restored. In fact, well past that time, I am daily assured. I do not want you to think the pandemic was not serious, but the curve has been flattened, and the people are furious. And as we all leave here later today, we should pray that this government control goes away, for our founders believed we were free to decide what is for our best as we stand here allied. And so as I bring this poem to a close, I surely hope that none of you froze, for here in Connecticut it is a much better day, but it will be so much better when unilateral power goes away. Thank you. God bless America.